Hello, everyone. I was even talking to the crooked naked. I need to sharpen my spear and be a little more direct with the audience cast that continues to remain relevant to the content that I produce. Knowing the fact that we're having connections with the flat Earth theory that came through. Recently, as I've been traveling through the spirit realm, and it's absent of the technique to create possibility, it's abstaining from even Genesis itself. It's flat Earth meets the Big Bang with flat Earth Big Bang meeting the creation story, let there be light kind of deal, when trading with the aspect of the glory that is sought to be kept sacred, and gives people the opportunity to remain diligent among themselves to understand that they're still with God. This is kind of like a coping escape mechanism that people may find themselves in. For the tarot today, I'm using Spoopy Tarot. Spoopy. Oh, it's for the quiet night. Even though I'm kind of talking quite loudly, I hope that I'm able to help you maintain with the things that you've aligned on to and according with. Because there are just some things that I never had dove into that a lot of the general public is familiar about and for. But this is me, Jade, coming with a reading. And I'm going to be connecting your temptation with your fatherly experience, the one that you are presented according unto. It's not a define all aspect or experience. This is a conversation with a medium that allows you to turn through the pages and collect the information and sincerity that they can provide to you. So we're talking about right now what connects your temptation to your higher hand is currently the Seven of Cups. In the it's not a pip deck. It does come with variety as far as what is familiar to you. So it's I don't know if this is what you see or not. This can be left for interpretation. It may even show up as pip because of the theory that we're touching upon, the creation ability. So with the Seven of Cups, as they usually are interpreted, are about just a variety of things and visions that you are being fed even prior to the knowledge that you have ability to show yourself with. This is the Knight of Pence. Now the Knight of Pentacles, you'll foresaw the space that God is showing unto you and is continuing to show that you aren't in the right place to receive the fruit of that labor that he is enlightening it upon. That is open by the Six of Pentacles that you can see here. This is in reverse, so it's a object of impertinence. So it's like I keep these readings general enough to maintain the fact that like these are time periods where um, sometimes it's like you have the context that you desire in your mental hallucination or imagination, and it's a like imprint upon yourself to at least know what's giving the hand that it's holding. You're not going to go farther into the message that will show like a absent of things of manifestation. Like you're trying to manifest something that's already in existence and imprinted upon the reality, so that the trade is functional, has functionality betwixt it. Whether it be a community organization, something that you don't have to produce yourself. And that's obviously something that we all desire pertinently. The Two of Pentacles is in reverse as well. Now, as this temptation goes, it's like you have kind of like ordered your nest to a pristine condition to where it's like you know that all the things that are being given to you, like it's like you've safeguarded access and entry to the qualifying in potentialities that you are part of. It's like you're not looking for anything else new because you want to receive. Like that's what this is showing. Like Two of Pentacles is showing me like you've already balanced out that war within yourself, so you know it's like when something shows up in your mental state or stability or in your senses, it's like, why am I even feeling that? Like I have this under control, it's under wrap and everything, so there's no need for that to be presentable. Like it's not given forth coming critique or value as far as like you're like you let me I don't want to steamroll that card. What is this? The Seven of Wands in reversed. Now the Seven of Wands, talking about your higher self. Oh, wow, and I completely lost that train of thought. Oops. I shouldn't have done that. Uh, I heard a whisper of ancestors coming through to the potential of like where you are pertaining your valued experiences with. You may be getting a call to something frequently that isn't object to your experience. But it's like it's almost like a door that like has been left open that is remnant of a memory or time period for you that you get to go back to and experience with the sweetest potential. So since we're talking about like the Big Bang and stuff, like this is about like letting us jump too soon. We have the Three of Pentacles right here. The Three of Pentacles in your present experience with the Divine Hand. That is showing like things. Okay, since I'm reading like the Spoopy Tarot, like this is already showing manifestation I haven't read the book yet, but I can like decipher imagery, like, I mean, hopefully well enough to get the point. Somebody's already given to the bag, the purse. This is upside down. The Three of Pentacles are like, what's in the bag? It's like, I don't know, but I've given consent to the formation of that experience. And that bag knows my hand. It's not like given away to a imposter that you wouldn't find the experience else as of with, you know, that experience. So with the context of ancestry, that's what that one is congealing itself to. Because it's like, this one is familiar with like hierarchical consent as to the abilities that you've learned, like the context to which you've even to give you like bits of pieces of like this reading as it started with people who are feeling left out or mistaken in their current present because they aren't given the light that they are continually like presenting unto the world. Like, you have the experience and knowledge that can support the fruition of that thing, that ability that you continue to own for yourself, but it hasn't been given. But you have the pentacle. You're not given it though. But as far as like ancestry is concerned and friendships and stuff like that, this is stuff that's already been worked forward for you that you may not have stumbled onto yet. So for the people who are feeling a little helpless, this may be an option for you. You may even stumble upon it with your enlightenment and become an extra ligament to the creation that your ancestry and friendships have created for you. And they get to have that meaningful consent to you if you ever voiced it to them. The Queen of Wands came through in reverse. I think this is just, she's so angry because everything that I just talked about is what she is here to discuss. I'll show you her upright. Nope. Sorry, it's in reversed. Here she is. She can't stand it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like the temptation has been removed from her hand as far as like what she came here for the reading to talk about and discuss. You have like spoopy. You have desire that is in its completion, like before you arrive to where it can't change, but it's given to you because of connections and networks that you have. Or especially with ancestry. I'm not even going to separate the fact that like, actually I kind of have to, like, thanks Queen. This one I'm sensing with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, we're sensing like these are not divine partnerships that you have connected to that will bestow upon like resource and financial fortuity unto you. Because it's like, as we talked about, if it was meant for you, that bag would have already been filled. And this Seven of Pentacles, these friends and family aren't going to be culprits to the famine that you experience. It's gone. It's like you have everything looked at, taken care of. You know why things are out of place or changed because of outside intervention. Spirit is like testy or whatever. Like, Pluto's in Aquarius right now, just hit 0 degree like last week. Keep that in mind. It's going to be like that for the next 10 years. As of the posting of this video, that is significant enough to the point where it's like our predictable nature has been taken care of, and our consciousness has this in mind when creating contact with other people from the same realm. Us as earthly beings kind of have the upper advantage, on the upper hand with spirit, because spirit is almost unlikely able to discern where planets are. Like, this is something that it's like Earth has like the creative power to use the diligent effort to distinguish the continuity between other things. And so that's going to be a page in a book for later. But that's mainly the upkeep here is Pluto and Aquarius with this bag that we talked about here. So keep that in mind. Temperance. Temperance in reverse coming through, showing us just like almost a confirmation to like the divine hands like influence to get us connected with like the signature that our bodies are aligned with and memories that they create upon themselves with. Continuing with the conversation of Pluto being in Aquarius, we're misaligned. Yeah, like with this timeline, I'm part of the tropical timeline. I go with the seasons, and I go as far as like what time allows for that. It's I went with leap year. I'm sorry. I guess, yeah, I do that. Like, if I were to go down a route where I went sidereal or Vedic astrology, I'd be removing myself from the Roman calendar. And I'm not tapping into that timeline. That's not where my guides have led me through. Like, it's not where I'm going. So it's, with temperance being in reverse, like, understand the fact that there are different time periods that this astrology world exists in and upon, and there are different constellations that are worshipped and idolized ahead of others. So it's just a bargaining game that you'll have to get through, and you're not supposed to know these things by just looking at people. I mean, you may just be familiar with that energy, and some people may even be enticed to reach out to you because of those qualities that you exhibit amongst in yourself. So that's just a pick-me-up. I don't think it's pertinent to like the creative aspect of what we were talking about with the Big Bang. It's like you're letting someone walk all over the spirit that is close to you, and then attempting to make like a gotcha aspect to the coordinate of that particular thing, which is like I'm different than that. Like I'm not if something is there, it's there for a reason, and if you mess it up, I'm not gonna be like sheepish about it and let it continue to fly until like I have to lose my shit over the fact that you weren't paying attention or something. Like, it's kind of like just like more feel me out. Like, it's not like giving attempted knowledge to the creative aspect that you consider yourself to be a part of. If we're talking about the Big Bang here, that is the flat earth experience and the open world that like our fifth dimensional conscies have like access to, and literally have their own sense of upkeep and imprisonment and all of those things. Like, when you're working with solid rock and trying to do that, I'm going too far. Sorry, but you are it's like you were contesting with this aspect of your spirit that you're allowing other people to shift that through particular lens theory that doesn't require outreach that you have the power to progress with. If it's like you gotta understand, like, if you're too meek, because at this point it's not about humility. If you had humility, you would understand just like the general aspect and upkeep and other people's time that are being limited and affected by your inconsistency with the integral aspect of the vision that you see. And all of this is about temperance being in reversed. Kind of went in on that a little hard, but it's ignoring that voice and then saying they were here with me the whole time and they knew it was there. I don't know. I haven't seen this vision, but this is like talking about like what it's like, you know, like the fifth dimensional reality. If you want to go to sub-dimension, we can, like, in a prior context to what we've seen here, because I've talked about the completion story of the fact that we belong to a cyclical society that is bound to a coordinate of time of rotation amidst the star and has an access that provideth with the season that gives. So it's just frustrating when the days change and nothing is given new to you. Even when you see other people mess with the things that you are protecting God for. Like, does that make sense? Sorry. It's like, I'm kind of putting a little forward with that context because, like, I'm doing a regressive experience here. Like, we have gone back to the Two of Pentacles, and I'm talking about the fact that, like, you have upkept your space, know what's going in and what's going out, and you know what hand it's touching, and it's like you just know the world, your world, that way. But when you get into the experience where you start to talk to individuals like the stars, or like organizations or industries, or like all of those other higher dimensional consciousness that is out of reach to you, and you believe in the flat earth so visually that it's like you are so concerned, and not only with the flat earth, but with the concept of, like, we aren't in the garden that the biblical Hebrewic God had created, the garden that God had created, and you aren't given anything new. It's like you will drive yourself a little bit crazy talking about the patience that you need to require. But maybe that is a part of your fifth dimensional or subconscious experience that is dwelling upon on this planet that you get to provide to people in spirit without you even gaining anything from it. So it's like, I don't know, that's an aspect of humility that is a little bit twisted, because, like, this humility is self-rewarding, but it's like you get to experience it in your, like, REM sleep cycles and your sub-dimensional consciousness figurine. Like, it goes deep in their point is, like, your rock experience, your earthly divine light, like, correct upon, like, the traveler, you know, kind of thing. Like, your sub-dimensional ability can still maintain that meekness in that context of I'm experiencing this world vastly without obtaining anything because I have this stipulation to work. But that's going to be a book for another day because we don't have that here, at least in America, because we don't have our like ability to live off of thought like as a mode of function yet. It's not like, I mean, eventually I'd have to do this as a form of living, but it's like, I don't know, what would you do it for? It's different for everybody. I'm on disability, and that's honestly what's final. Like, I'm just, yeah, talking about myself now, but it's a book for another day because it's like we are working for the things that we get. But what does that mean for our mental spaces when we're at home alone trying to figure out how to direct our communal traffic? That's where we are. If you even like aren't connected with that part of society as it functions, because sometimes we just aren't ready to like commit to that reality of like living until the rock dies kind of experience, like, but that's kind of where we are. So it's just to miss the point where we get to make these setups and commitments for ourselves that will be an outreached hand for another person, or a resource of perpetual manufacturing that will like support without even being taken from. Like, that's what we're working toward. That's what we're thinking about. That's what I mean, at least when you think about automation, that's generally where the path that you lead toward. And it's not even if it's something that you aren't aware of. Like, it could be something that you stumble upon because someone had to let you know. And that's the Eight of Bones, the Eight of Swords, as in the cards that I had been given to you for. You think you're all tied up, but you're not. Like, it's a lie. But you'll be okay. I hope all of you have a wonderful time. Be nice to the things and visions that you see because you already know that it's being looked at and you're not alone. Okay? Thank you. Bye.